I have finally managed to pry myself off of my laptop and film this video. Hey guys, and welcome to Veda Day 29. That is right, it is the second last day of April, believe it or not. As April is coming to a close, I thought I'd do my April wrap-up video. I've never done a wrap-up before, so yes. Basically, I'm just going to tell you how my reading was this month, what I read, what I thought of them. And yes, I think I was in a slight reading slump at the start of the month, and I picked up Gone by Michael Grant. And yes, this is basically about this little town in California where one day everyone over the age of 15 just disappears, and nobody knows why, nobody knows how. Just one day everyone just disappears. And yes, everything quickly goes to crap, and this sort of new, weird, without rules civilization occurs, and Sam, the protagonist, is, I don't know, he's not, I wouldn't say he's the leader, because there are some people like his age who don't want to listen to him and don't listen to him. The characters just try to cope with everything that's happening. And yes, the same for Sam. I liked the story, I liked the premise of the book, I liked the concept, I really liked it. But I don't know, it's just, I think this is one of those books you have to pick up. If you're going to read it, you have to pick up at the right time where you're not going to enjoy it. And I didn't want to like power through it and like ruin the experience or whatever. I think I would love it, but I just I couldn't get into the story. And I put it down to pick up at a later date, so yes. Then I went and bought a load of books, and that made me happy. But apart from being happy, I started to read The 100, or The 100, I don't know how people say it, by Cass Morgan. So in this book, humanity, or what's left of the human race, essentially, is in space on this space station, huge space station called the Ark, and they're up there because Earth, the conditions on Earth are hostile. You can't live on Earth anymore due to a nuclear apocalypse. And fast forward like 3 centuries into the future, and yes, when this book is set, 100 kids or 100 teenagers are sent back down to Earth to see if it's habitable again, if the conditions are suitable for life. And yes, a whole load of stuff happens. It's told from the point of view of 4 characters, which I actually really liked, because it didn't feel as long. It's only 300 pages, but it literally felt like 100 pages, because you were reading different characters every chapter. I gave this book 3 stars, and there were just a load of reasons why. I did really like it. I liked the story, and that's kind of where it ended for me. The thing that really irritated me the most, the reason I gave it 3 stars, well, the main reason anyway, was there was just too much romance in this book. 3 out of 4 storylines in this book were like focused completely on romance, and it really ruined the book kind of for me. So yes. The next book I read was my favorite this month by far, and that was Looking for Alaska by John Green. I did a whole video review of this, so I'm not going to say much. I'm going to link it down below if you want to watch it. And yes, basically this is what I needed. It was perfect. I loved the storyline, I loved the characters, I loved and hated the plot twist, and it just got to me real bad. And I loved this book so much. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I just loved it. John Green again, I freaking love you, man. Love you, man. After Looking for Alaska, I decided to pick up Cinder by Marissa Meyer. So Cinder, if you can't already tell, is a fairy tale retelling of the fairy tale Cinderella. And it's basically the story of Cinderella, but told in such an awesome way, in a futuristic, like really technological. Technology is a big part in this, as you can imagine, in the future, and I just loved it. I think I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. I just couldn't give it a 5. I wasn't blown away by it. I really, really liked it, but I wasn't blown away. I loved the characters. Well, I loved the character development. I didn't love all the characters because Princess Lavanna, did I say Princess? Queen Lavanna and Cinder's stepmother, Adri. Those two really, really annoyed me. But I did love all the other characters. Marissa Meyer is so creative in the way she retells Cinderella, and I just loved reading it. So, yeah. The next book I read, and the book I finished actually last night, or this morning, I guess, is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I give this book, for now anyway, I haven't really thought about it, but I think I want to give it 5, but I don't think it's quite a 5. I think I'll give it a 4.5. And this book follows Anna, who is a 17-year-old American girl who is shipped to America. No, that's wrong. Shipped to Paris by her dad to go to this boarding school, and basically for the first while she just hates it there, and she just doesn't like living in a new place. She doesn't like not knowing the native language of the area, and she just feels alone and everything you'd expect someone to feel when they're shipped off to a foreign country. Yeah, she eventually joins a group of friends and starts hanging out with them, and obviously there's romance, and then the French kiss, come on. Stephanie Perkins' voice through Anna is so modern and so, I want to say hip, but that's really uncool. It was just so amusing and really entertaining, and such a good book, and there were parts where I kind of got annoyed with how obsessed Anna was getting, but they weren't very frequent. It did happen really, like, very often. So yeah, I wasn't bored for too long. I would recommend it to anyone. It's just a really fun story, really fun contemporary, and yes, I just really liked it. I really liked it, people. So yeah, these are all the books I read this month. Actually, I didn't read this one. These are all the books I read this month. Yes, 4 books. I'm grand with 4 books. That's good for me. I don't think May will be as good, even though I only read 4 books, because I have a lot of exams coming up this month, and it's about time I start revising. Tell me what books you're reading in the comments, or what books you read this month. I hope you liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to, whatever. And yes, slán.